Top of the morning. Today we are reacting to Mr. Johnson traveling on Japan Airlines, and he spent about $30,000 for him and his wife. We're gonna react to the video and see what 30,000 gets you, which 30,000 is equivalent to 15,000 per person. So let's see how his experience was on Japan Airlines.
I spent $30,000 on Japan Airlines New Business class from New York to Japan, and I'm going to tell you if it's worth it. A little bit of the bubbly. Now, full disclaimer, I booked this very last minute with about 2 months to spare. Because I'm super impulsive, I'm a child, let's move on. So when you fly Japan Airlines business class out of JFK Airport, you get access to the Greenwich Lounge. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And to be honest, it's a very beautiful lounge. It has just about every amenity you could ask for except for comfortable seating. What the is it about any airport lounge that is devoid of comfortable seating? If you know why this anomaly exists, let me know in the comments because I'm baffled. And of course, my roly-poly ass went straight to the food. And I'm going to be dead honest with you, it was slightly above hospital food as far as quality goes. I got a little chicken, I got a little shrimp, I got some veg, I got a sandwich and some cake. I think it was cake. And it was all seasoned okay. It was all cooked decently. But would I say it's a stellar way to start a $30,000 flight experience? Absolutely not. But let's move on. At least I could see my plane from the lounge. It was Japan Airlines' brand new A350-1000 Airbus. It's a big, beautiful, thick girl with red tips. You couldn't ask for anything more. Now it's time for us to board, and they did actually board us pretty fast considering all. And this will be my suite for the next 14 hours. Yes, this is a 14-hour flight. And luckily I did have quite a bit of leg room. You'll see more about that shortly. And there's my lovely wife. Yes, I paid for 2 seats, so this flight was roughly about $15,000 per seat round trip. And this space is an absolute unit. This seat reclines into a full bed. And look at all that leg room under the TV. Now, I'm about 6 foot tall, and I had no problem stretching my feet out all the way, and there was plenty of space to go further back for when I decided to lay this out into bed mode. And I was able to put my carry-on under the space under my feet. And with this little...
So most of these flights, I have never been on Japan Airlines. The only one I've been on, I can confirm, is Delta Airlines. So a lot of these seats, they lie flat. They can fit a person as tall as 6'11". So every airline's gonna offer different prices. So every airline's gonna have different movies. They're gonna have different food style.
room, as I'm going to call it. You get a little coat closet, and you even get a little room for your shoes. A specific room for your shoes is excess and extremely wild, but damn it, I used it. Because again, $30,000. I'm going to use every goddamn thing on this plane. Thank you very much. And if this flight has nothing else, it has storage space. You have a little jewelry holder, and above it you have another little shelf, and my God, I was overwhelmed by all these damn buttons. There were 4 buttons for lights. There were 6 buttons for seat positioning. Just give me 2 buttons. I was a Game Boy kid. Give me like 2 or 3 buttons. That's all I need. I don't need all these options. But they did give you this little touchscreen remote that controlled all of it, and I never figured the thing out. I worked with it for like 2 minutes, and I was just like, nope, too much for me. They give you these little studio quality headphones, which I appreciated, being the audio nerd that I am. And you do have these little retractable dividers, so I could decide if I wanted to see my wife's face for the next 14 hours. Guess what? I chose not to. Baby, I love you. And much like any high-class experience you have in dining or hospitality, they give you hot towels to decompress, to open your pores. Then I was treated to probably the most detailed pre-flight video I've ever seen in my life. And the TV was such a massive, overwhelming entity itself, I just had to take 20 minutes to explore everything on it. And the first thing I noticed, which was just the coolest thing to me, was the live flight camera feed. They have 2 cameras on the plane, one underneath the plane and one at the tip of the tail of the plane. So if you don't have a window seat, you could just click on the flicker right here and you could see where you are.
This feature is actually pretty cool. I think Japan Airlines is probably one of the only airlines to have this feature. Actually, I apologize, Japan Airlines and Emirates. The good thing about this feature is if you're sitting one of these seats and you're in the middle, you want a window seat aisle, like he's saying right there, you can just tap on the camera. You can see what's going on at the pilot's window. You can see what's going on at the tail of the aircraft. So this is pretty, actually kind of cool as we go on in the future. I think a lot of airlines are going to convert to the system because a lot of passengers want to see when we're landing. I want to see when we're taking off.
Are in real time at all times. Thoroughly impressed with that. And here, of course, you could also see your movie and TV options. One oddly impressive thing, you could order like stuff, like accessories, like clothes, accessories, belts, and just like robes, clothes. You could just order clothes on the plane. Is that how y'all bougie asses do on flights? Moving on. And I also thought to give you guys a bathroom tour. I rarely see bathroom tours in these types of videos. And honestly, this was about the size of a normal airplane bathroom. And here you can see all the little toiletries. I'm not sure if this is just for business and first class, but I was appreciated, I guess. And now let's get to the food. And one thing that thoroughly got my loins as moist as they could be was the fact that you could order food a la carte as much as you want, as often as you want. No, you're not hearing me wrong. They provide you like 2 or 3 meals automatically without you asking, right? But you can order whenever you want, however much you want. You can just keep ordering ice cream. You can just keep ordering.
Well, I mean, if you're paying $30,000, I hope that you can order any kind of food that you want. You gotta understand that once you're flying business class, first class, everything changes. When you're in the back of the plane, you're just getting peanuts and waters and crackers. That's it. Once you're sitting in first class, getting food. Now, every airline is very different. So, for example, like what he's saying with Japan Airlines, you can consistently order food over and over and over again, however you want. Granted, other airlines, they may have a limit because what they'll do is as you're buying your ticket, you can select your meals. So, for example, if you're flying domestics with American, Delta, United, you're going from JFK to LAX, you probably just get one meal. But when you're going international with other airlines, you get a chance to order one meal, and what they'll do is they'll give you snacks. So I would say, as you are traveling, you just need to ask as many questions as possible, just because every airline is just different. Every airline, the main goal is to give you customer service, and they want you to come back. Granted, the food might not be what you think it is, but they just want you to come back.
Sandwiches. You can keep ordering noodles, the cheese, all that stuff. Anything you see here, you can just keep ordering. So I did. Because $30,000. But I did wait until the first meal they brought me, just to test the waters. They start you off with olives and peanuts. No salt at all on the nuts, just naked nuts. And you get your choice of beverage. And again, because $30,000, I went with champagne. Wanted to get a little bit of liquor in me. And starting off with the first official meal service, you get a 6-course, almost appetizer of cold dishes. You got sliced meats, you got a little caviar, you got shrimp, mushrooms, seaweed, little fish, and they even give you this little red origami crane here. And not every dish here was for me, but definitely leaps and bounds above anything I've ever had 40,000 feet in the air, right? Nope. Nope, that was like an eraser. Nah, I'm cool on that. And after pre-lunch, it's time for hot lunch. And again, another very impressive spread here. Even got me a little dessert too. And then after lunch, I decided to order after lunch. I got a little cheese plate with some fruit, and they even decided they wanted to serve a Philly cheesesteak on here. And spoilers, it was ass. They tried their hardest. And then it got late and I decided to turn my seat into the bed. You hit one of these buttons and it full on retracts into a bed-like surface. They even give you a little pad to put on it to make it feel a bit more like a bed. They give you a pillow, they give you a sheet. And just as I thought things were actually going to be pleasant for my slumber experience, I realized that I am as wide as all outside, and it was going to be a pretty snug fit. So I was only able to lay here for about 2 or so hours. This is not comfortable. Height-wise, I was fine, had plenty of space, but my shoulders were hugging the walls, and I was trying everything I could do to get comfortable. And I kind of found a position where I was sort of kind of fine, but then I kept noticing something out of my peripheral. Also, while I'm laying here, so I'm like just awake, I'll be on my phone, just like, kind of looking up, and you'll see out your peripheral the flight attendants just peering into your cabin, someone just peeking over, just unnerving as But then that kind of died down, and I just started to get hot. Like, I realized I was extremely warm. Like, I took the covers off of me and I was just hot. And then I realized you don't really have any way of controlling the temperature in your little space, unless I was overlooking something. There was no vent apparatus, any way to just get some air on you, or heat for that matter, if you needed it. So that's definitely a little flaw in this
You guys gotta be realistic with yourself. You're gonna pay $30,000. The bed might not be as comfortable. The food might not be as comfortable. I always say you're just paying for the experience. That's literally it. You're just paying for the experience. Not everything is going to be as comfortable as your own king size bed, California king bed. Mind you, these airlines, they're fighting with space. So that first class experience, the mattress might only be this thick. Depending who you are, how tall you are, how big you are, if you're 6'6", if you're 6 feet, if you're 7 feet, you have to understand like they're gonna do their best to accommodate you, but you're never gonna be 100% satisfied. Make the best of it. Enjoy the trip. That's all you can do. Eat as much food as you can. Drink as much liquor as you can. Just don't get too drunk, because if you get too drunk, they could kick you off the flight.
multi-thousand-dollar 14-hour experience. And of course, I'm going to order another meal. We're going to eat, right? And then after that meal, guess what I did? I got more food because I'm going to eat. Y'all going to feed me. It's half a day. Y'all going to feed me. And before you know it, I heard the announcement that we are approaching our final descent, and I watched the plane plummet to the ground. Now, would I say this was worth the $30,000 price tag? Let me just say I did appreciate having more than quite a bit more space than we are usually used to on a flight. The amenities, the staff, top tier. The food, for what it is, absolutely top notch. Great quality, amazing portions, on demand. The entertainment, 10 out of 10. I watched every movie that I ever wanted to watch. But that bed, that bed. Again, I'm a big boy, I'm a big-bodied boy, but I don't feel like I am so big-bodied where I should have been so tightly snugged in my space. And again, no type of central air, no type of heating mechanism. So was it worth the price tag? For me, no. I can't say the seat was worth $14,000, but that was just my experience. If you're a smaller person, if you aren't as climate dependent as I am, you probably would have a much better experience. Me, I wasn't comfortable.
That is the end of the video. I will say a lot of airlines, Japan Airlines, Emirates Airlines, and Singapore Airlines will offer you one of the best first class experience. I've done several reaction videos, and I can attest this. As a person who is in the airline industry, our main goal is to give you the best experience on the flight, the best customer service on the flight. Granted, our food might not be the best, but you also have to be realistic with yourself. Like, every airline you go to is going to offer something different. Just because there's a bed on there and the mattress is this thick does not mean you're going to sleep like a baby. They just want you to have the experience of laying down. Now, if you're sitting in the back of the airplane, this experience is definitely not going to be like that. But as you can tell, he enjoyed his experience. I always say everybody should just experience the first class experience. It will change your perspective on travel. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. I am in the industry, been in there 10 plus years. Get your money up, travel, 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 because his experience was, your experience might be the greatest. Anyways, until next time, world.